going to be able to buy some time here, but let's see how creative FCAP are going to be with that low Yi.
And it might just be that creativity that Cloud9 might use to shock the world, to shock everyone watching, and to get into a position where maybe they can fight for the knockouts. Here we go, an early start. Cold World getting into Kyle TZ's face.
Forces out an early retribution, which is exactly what you want to see. But in the meantime, right, you can see that FCAP, when they receive a push, they're going to be pushing somewhere else. They're going to find other places to find small advantages. And that's a very early recall on MarQT if he commits to it. But no, he needs to be around just to fight for Litho. Doesn't seem like this is going to be much of an engagement.
Checking out the bottom lane here, Basic and Super Marco. Again, this is as even a matchup as you can get. Super Marco definitely can bully the Moscow, but the Moscow can find an angle to CC the Predator that is the Roger. See, like that. Checking out Mobazane's emblem of choice. That is a killing spree. Long time no see.
Yeah, I think it's bold that he's going for killing spree here. I do feel like I don't think he's going to be able to snowball as hard as we would like to imagine, but then again, I could be entirely wrong. I think that C9 could just be pivoted towards playing around Mobazane then, rather than Basic, just to let Basic kind of sit on an island by himself, because right now, his laning phase seems to be perfectly fine. No real bad trades coming in from him.
Yep, it's an honest approach to the scaling. Cloud9 is going from 0 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60, and then maybe jump the gun when Mobazane is ready. Turtle coming up in about 10 seconds. You can see in the minimap Kyle TZ playing around with his quad shadows. And is this right, Gideon? Can we expect for Kyle TZ to do this? A delayed take first on the purple and then commit to the turtle? Because look,
I think
Mobazane is rushing it.
I mean, he could rush it potentially, but I do think that there is a gank opportunity on the top side of the map. But for Kyle TZ's sake, again, he's an assassin. The early levels doesn't really matter. And I think even Mobazane recognizes that, right? As long as he is keeping level with Kyle TZ, these neutral objectives honestly don't really matter as much.
Oh, Chris, aka Cold World, looking to reach level 4. He needs a kick. There we go. It's online. It's a fair fight.
Oh, wait. Mobazane turns around. He's not actually taking his purple buff. He's coming for the contest, knowing that Falcons, Apbren are all around Cold World, trying to force something out from FCAP's side. Great ult! It lands on the 3 targets. Can he steal Kyle? Finds the turtle. Minoan Fury gets the knock-up of first blood. It's going to be Cold World who goes down as Mobazane takes out Flap TZ. Mielow ends up dying alongside them.
2 for 1 plus the big one. The SOD coming in. I'm sure it hit someone, but that's not a position you want to put yourself in the early game as a Moscow. One more look at the team fight. It would have been great. That Frigid Glacier from MarQT was picture perfect, but the follow-through, it was slightly lacking. And I think, in essence, right, theoretically, that's the perfect time to go in with the Spear of Alpha, maybe even jump in if you're bold, SOD in through basic, but the items just weren't there yet. The firepower wasn't present.
The firepower definitely wasn't present, and I think more so, it's kind of difficult to lock down the Hayabusa without having the space to do so, right? You can see that MarQT doesn't want to go further than he has to, and Kyle TZ can just sit back with the quad.
This is the kind of situation wherein you look at the emblems and you see the difference maker, even if they were at relatively the same amount of items just yet. The war cry made the difference for Kyle TZ's basic attacks, definitely.
100%, 100%, right? That's why war cry is pretty effective on assassins. We're seeing Ling users pick up the war cry because it's just that good.
In the early, it helps you get the extra 10, 15 damage per basic, which would eventually lead to the win. In the late game, don't get me started, it amplifies the damage all the more because you get the late game.
I mean, so far, considering everything that has been happening here, fun fact, 73 unique picks already here at MSC. Like, we've gone through a good amount of heroes, and I think people are digging deep to try and figure out how to win on red side. Like, I feel bad for C9 because they need that 2-0, but they're starting off on the weakest side of the meta.
70 plus. What's the number?
76.
76. So we're approaching 60-something% of the total hero pool, which, by the way, Jushin is not yet a part of. So you're looking at the 124, 125. Second turtle started up already. Less than half health. Cold World jump in and get the kick.
He gets a really good kick. They can burst him down. Oh, it blows up. And Kyle, now he has to be a little bit careful. He doesn't have his bodyguard no longer, but Super Marco can clean up a fight if he finds the opportunity. A great play from Cold World as Flap TZ now just peeling away Mielow. He's too low to be part of this fight in Cold World. He's got nothing left in the tank, so C9, this turtle dance, kind of looking a little different. Flicker forward coming in from FlapTeasy to get the penalty zone, but it looks like he's out of position with no follow-up and a backup. Kyle only gets the double here. Pretty good considering how everything panned out for Falcons Apbren.
That's deja vu for FCap. Another 2 for 1 now with the backline basic.
He gets hit still. He dashes out of the way, but the dive is complete. The fast diversion from the side of Falcons Apbren never misses.
A fast break from coast to coast they went, and Basic didn't see that coming. I mean, he tried. That's good news for Falcons Apbren, though. They forced the flicker out of Peter Bryce, and now there's another 2 minutes that they have to wait until Basic is at full mobility. Check out that replay brought to us by STC. Wow. All it took was an Oogie Shadow kill and the sudden burst on Mobazane, and if I'm not mistaken, Cold World, to turn that all around, to make sure that Cloud9 disperses, sends Basic back into his lane, and give them a false sense of security. All this while, Falcons Apbren were thinking of the next step.
I think it's totally fine that Cold World goes down there. I think it's really unlucky that Mobazane actually dies there. Now, Mark UT, he still has his passive. He should die here regardless, because Kyle, really great position of the Quad Shadows. SOD is already out, but I don't think Basic wants to get in there just yet. He's heading to the top side of the map where he still has the protection of that tier 1. But let's see Kyle, how greedy is he going to get? He tries to go back in, doesn't get it, but he does lose out on his retribution.
All right. C9 putting their foot down, saying, you're going to take these turtles, maybe a few kills on us, but not my buff. All this while, Super Marco working up on that top lane tier 1. The map has shrunk, Gideon. Where does Basic find a farm?
Oh, wait, sorry. It's actually 73 uni picks. I added an extra 3 on top of that.
Okay, all right. Well, to be fair, there have been a few heroes picked up. Now, Zayn in trouble. Oh, my. Sky Piercer.
Unlucky. Yeah, online. Sky Piercer is online. Dude, if that was the first execution, right? How many kills he had before that could have been? I didn't see when exactly he got the Sky Piercer, but let's see how this neutral plays out.
Let's call it 2.
Let's call it 2?
Let's say 2 stacks now.
All right. I think that's fair. I think that'll be fair. That's a free turtle for the side of Falcons Apbren, and I think that C9, they've lost so much tempo from that one diversion play.
Everything currently on the map belongs to Falcons Apbren. Looking at it from a roll-to-roll, lane-to-lane perspective, what is the biggest gap we've got? Kyle, slightly up.
Unironically, I think it's between FlapTeasy and Mielow as of right now, right? Based on, I mean, Mielow is 2 levels down. Oh no, he got hit by the edge of it. No, the Vanilla Fury already finds the pick.
Oh, and Few can now put himself in the front lines a little more. Despite this being a Luo Yi, it can be a CQC mage. Start him young. Look at this father and son duo. I would assume that they're father and son. Hello, enjoying the show in the Amazon Arena.
It's great to see the families come together, especially showing their love for esports here. Now, let's see how this is going to play out, because Mobazane, he probably doesn't want to be there longer than he should. He still has Spirit of Alpha to get on out of there, and even the Frigid... Wait, that's a kill coming in from Mark UT, and now they start to initiate. They get in. Phew, the next fall doesn't get out of there as Mielow is going to follow up to try and get as many stragglers as possible. He gets hit by the penalty zone, and then Super Marco fires one. He's already godlike, but Mobazane says, no, I move forward. I don't back down. He never gives up. Oh my God, Cold World saves Mobazane's life with a flicker way of the dragon.
Straight up martial arts. The kick into the spear, into the true damage from Beta. Cloud9 are here to play. They are not gonna bow down and take this lion down. Falcons Apbren have to respect Cloud9's micro now. That top lane engagement deep behind enemy lines. Cloud9 showing up, man. What's the gap right now? About 3K, 2K? They definitely shrank that.
They definitely shrank that, and they're back into this. Yes, they're missing a lot of structures. Don't get me wrong. It is still a tough position to be in, but C9 definitely showed that they have what it takes to win out in these fights, and Falcons Apbren must respect them.
Good news for Cloud9 as well. They give a chunk of those kills over to Mobazane. He's making bank. And yeah, they'll take whatever kills they can, but what is good to know for NA fans is there's 10 seconds left on Marco and Fuse Purify. So if somehow Cloud9 find a kick, If somehow Cloud9 find an engage off of Mielow, then maybe this could be a free Lord, but bad news is they spent a lot of battle spells. Look at all of those flickers on cooldown.
I think they need to play around these battle spells, right? That's their big X factor from the side of C9. And Falcons Apbren, they recognize it too. Oh, BOD for the side of Kyle.
All right. That is a BOD, yes. Diversion in. Kyle TZ picked up by few. Here's the fight.
Mobazane does get the Lord, but now the Frigid Breath is already down. Kyle finds Colwar instantaneously as the Minoan Fury is going to be coming out, and unlucky because right now he's just chaining kills upon kills upon kills. This man's making stacks.
That is the most expensive Lord I've seen in a while. 4 for a major objective. And now Falcons Apbren making a beeline for this mid lane inhibitor.
Oh my goodness. Like, can Kyle not, like, he lost at least 30% of all, 40% of his stacks. He got it all back in a single fight.
Maybe even more now, because he just got 3 out of that single engage by pressing his ult. Looking at the items, there is the Sky Piercer, the Blade of Despair, and the Hunter's Strike. As for Mobazane, he's definitely building a little chunkier now. Oh, diversion out. War Axe, Queen's Wings, and Oracle on his way to a BFB.
Huh, interesting. I definitely think Colwar, I guess C9 called him off. I think Colwar was thinking the same thing that I was. He maybe could have gotten a single kick onto someone just as the diversion is completing, just to isolate one person.
Yep, a kill is a kill for Cloud9. You'll take anything you can, but you have to consider a death on a member of Cloud9 now could mean suddenly an inhibitor lost. A death on a member of Cloud9 could mean suddenly Falcons Apbren calls it the GG push and says you can't defend without Mar, you can't defend without Cold World. And where does this put Basic, right? Basic is still scrounging for farm, man. He is down a level from Super Marco. And I don't know if he has the Wind Talker by now, rather the Wind of Nature, but he needs to survive the Yogi Shadow Kill.
Yeah, I think the Yogi Shadow Kill is the biggest problem. It's chaining too much, and I think that Kyle TZ is just way too far ahead in the game, right? Just him throwing the shurikens alone is pretty devastating.
It's gotta feel like a third of Basic's health at this point. He's on the way.
So close.
He has a Trinity, but he's still afraid of the Yogi Shadow Kill. And we're not even talking about Flap TZ. We're not even talking about Super Marco. This has been almost 80-90% of the game now, 12 minutes elapsed. Kyle TZ wreaking havoc.
Pretty much, right? Like, Super Marco wants to get in there and be like, hey, guys, like, you know, I'm the big executioner. And Kyle's like, nah, I got Sky Piercer. It's all good, man. You could take a back seat.
Yep, just clean up.
Yeah,
the ones
just
that can't kill. And that puts Cloud9 in such a bad place mentally, because they can clump up, feel the wrath of the Shadow Kill, or clump up, feel the diversion, the yin-yang, and even defending the waves. Looking at their wave clear, Cloud9, Mark Cutie, and Basic are really their only hopes. Because if Mobazane puts himself in a weird position, then he's using Beta in his skill set to clear waves. He wants to get into the fight as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really tough because even so, right, it's not like Cloud9's composition is very fluid when it comes down to team fights. They usually just want the traditional front to back, and ideally, they always want to keep moving forward. That's what's really cool about this composition. But Falcons Apbren, with the addition of Kyle TZ, they have 4 members that basically hunker down in the fortress while Kyle is like, you know, throwing artillery at C9, forcing them to kind of spread apart because he's just that much of a threat.
Yep, and of course, there's the penalty zone you're thinking about. 2 big ticket AoE ults from Ogwin and Flap. Now that they
they find it outside of the map. They at least get Mobazane as well as Cold World. What a fast play from Falcons Apbren. They did not see it coming.
Basic saw it coming. He saw the diversion destination and he threw the SOD, but really there's not much you can do. As a Moskov at this point, again, 14 minutes in, big Lord in mid, top lane in jeopardy. This could be it.
Oh, once again, they're going to be using Glacier very early on, but they're going straight for the Crystal. They're ignoring a majority of the members, and FCAP take this 1-0 against C9.